scientific notation. Scientific notation is usually used in science class where you're writing really large numbers or really small numbers. They're not going to go too big or too small on Alex, but usually it's like when you're going from the Earth to the Moon and you've got 15 zeros on the end of your number. It's a way to shorten it up. This value in the front is always a value between 1 and 10 or -1 and -10, so the decimal's always behind the first digit. Our number system is in powers of 10, so when I have it times 10 to the 4th, it just tells me all I have to do is move my decimal 4 places to the right. So if I have -3.68, I move my decimal 1, 2, 3, 4, it adds 2 zeros on the end, so I have -36,800. Now, if you are doing something in scientific notation on your calculator, if I were doing like a multiplying or a adding or something like that, I would want to put that in parentheses so that the calculator that knows that all goes together. Since it's just that number there, I would just do -3.68 times 10 caret 4, and if I put equal, it then puts my number in standard form, provided my calculator's in normal mode and not in scientific notation mode.
So that's how you would write it in your calculator?
That's how you put it in your calculator. And if you were doing a math problem, you'd put the parentheses around it in order for it to work right. Number 8 then wants you to do it backwards. You have a number in standard form, you want to put it in scientific notation. So if I'm going to put it in scientific notation, I'm always putting the decimal behind the first non-zero digit. So I'm going to say 2.7, which is a number between 1 and 10. Then I have to figure out, well, how many times do I have to move my decimal in order to get it back to where it originally was?
7 times?
7. So I have 2.7 times 10 to the 7th power. So if I were going to put -12,000 in scientific notation, I would put
-12 times
-1.2. I want my decimal behind that first digit so that it's between 1 and 10. So -1.2 times 10 to the 4th power. So this value here always has to be between 1 and 10 or -1 and -10. So if my values are bigger than 1, my exponent ends up being positive. We're now going to do some with negative exponents.